My first responsibility when I get to office is to find where the agreement is and give it to the people of Kenya through Parliament.
It was new transport CS Kipchumba Murkomen top priority that he assured Kenyans that he will take up as soon as he was sworn in. And Sunday evening, the CS released what he said was the contractual agreement signed by the Kenyan government under the Jubilee administration.
This to me is politics. Kenya Kwanza wants to appear that whatever President Uhuru Kenyatta did not release to the public, them they are good, they will release to the public. The consequences on Wanjiku, the consequences on that Kenyan who depends on those international loans is now very, very dire. I'm urging the new government to be slow in trying to be populist, in trying to show that they will do what Uhuru's government did not do.
That is why we need to, and that I will allow the CS. Yes, it might be populist, it might be political, but I will tell you this, it is actually opening up so many issues which have been done underground. And we are, and I believe that the CS and the president himself will whichever other agreement that is going to enter with any other country will be made public.
The three contracts that were released by Murkomen are Mombasa Nairobi SGR Buyer Credit Loan, Nairobi Naivasha SGR Buyer Credit Loan, Preferential Buyer Credit Loan Agreement. While Murkomen shared the contracts which he said will be tabled in Parliament, details of the collateral Kenyan put up and widely reported as being the port of Mombasa and other assets of the Kenya Ports Authority were missing in the released document. A cross-section of leaders to this end did not waste their time in questioning why the said details were missing in the releases. Details of the documents indicate that China was to lend Kenya 1.6 billion shillings, approximately 190 billion Kenya shillings, at a 2% interest per annum, with a 0.25% commitment fee. A management fee of $4 million in 30 days was paid after the signing of the contract for the loan that goes up to 20 years with a 7-year grace period provided. In 13 years, the country is expected to have repaid its loan, with 42.6% of revenues expected to be channeled towards the loan repayment. The contract also reveals that the government signed up $1.2 billion, an approximate of 143 billion Kenya shillings, for a 20-year loan for the construction of the Nairobi-Naivasha railway line. In case of a dispute, the contract states that a resolution will only be settled at the China International Economic and Trade Arbitration Committee. It further goes ahead to say that the country first approaches China to purchase any goods from the proceeds of SGR before going to any other market in the world.
Mimi nataka kuona taifa letu na wananchi wetu tukisonga mbele.
In 2019, President Kenyatta promised to make public the contract, something that never happened. However, in the released documents, the government was barred from sharing details of the contract. Part of the contract reads, and I quote, "The borrower shall keep all the terms and conditions hereunder in connection with his agreement strictly confidential without prior written consent of the lender. The borrower shall not disclose any information hereunder or in connection with this agreement to any third party unless required by applicable law."
Or a deal, something that is still being discussed and the discussion is going on. Premature disclosure will actually kill what you wanted to do. So you actually should work on it until you have ironed out all the issues that you need to iron out. Then sure, when it comes public, you must anticipate also that when this thing goes public, what are the issues that it is likely to raise.
Now this contract has been released to the other third party. One, what will be the net effect of Kenya globally? Kenya has contracts, millions of contracts with China, with France, with America, with other countries. None of those contracts has ever been put into public, not even into Parliament. Are we telling our donors, our people we borrow from, the IMF and others, that whatever you pen down is for public consumption?
The contract was signed by former Treasury CS Henry Rotich and Lee Rugu, the president of Export and Import Exim Bank of China, and has since attracted mixed reactions from a cross-section of Kenyans who are accusing the CS of playing politics and diversionary tactics. In fact, Azimio la Umoja spokesperson Makau Mutua is questioning the role of Kenya Kwanza leaders when the contract was being signed in 2014 during Jubilee's first term, where Ruto and his allies were reading from the same script and were on the same side.
To yesterday, this is when these contracts are coming out. Reasons is one, who takes culpability of the contract that was signed? That's why I went very clear that this is a contract that binds the current president and the outgoing president. 2014. That time, His Excellency was not in Tangatanga or was not in UDA.
Martin Opio, K24 TV, Nairobi.